What if I told you that there's one principle, discovered over 2,500 years ago, that determines whether you succeed or fail at literally everything? A principle so powerful that it's been used by emperors to build empires, by generals to win impossible battles, and by modern entrepreneurs to dominate their industries. Yet 99% of people completely ignore it. And that's exactly why they struggle, while a small elite seem to effortlessly win at everything they touch. This principle comes from Sun Tzu, the ancient Chinese strategist whose wisdom has guided leaders for millennia. He said, "If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles." But here's what most people miss: Sun Tzu wasn't just talking about military battles. He was revealing the fundamental secret that separates winners from losers in every area of life. Today, you're going to discover why self-knowledge combined with strategic awareness is the ultimate cheat code for success. And by the end of this video, you'll have the framework to apply this immediately. Let me start with a hard truth: most people don't actually know themselves. They think they do, but they're living in a fantasy. They overestimate their strengths, ignore their weaknesses, and make decisions based on who they wish they were rather than who they actually are. This is why the gym is packed in January and empty by March. Why people start businesses in fields they have no talent for. Why they chase opportunities that were never meant for them. Sun Tzu understood something profound: the greatest victory is that which requires no battle. But you can't avoid unnecessary battles if you don't know your own capabilities. Think about it: how can you position yourself for success if you don't know what you're actually good at? How can you avoid disasters if you're blind to your own limitations? Real self-knowledge isn't comfortable. It requires brutal honesty about your talents, your work ethic, your natural inclinations, your energy levels, even your personality quirks. But here's the paradox: the more honestly you assess yourself, the more confident you become. Because now you're playing with accurate information instead of wishful thinking. When you know your real strengths, you can double down on them. When you acknowledge your weaknesses, you can either improve them or strategically avoid situations where they matter. Sun Tzu gave us a framework for this analysis. Ask yourself these 4 critical questions. First, what are your true strengths? Not what you want to be good at, what are you naturally exceptional at? What do people consistently come to you for? What energizes you rather than drains you? Second, what are your genuine weaknesses? What consistently trips you up? What do you avoid or procrastinate on? Where do you consistently perform below average despite effort? Third, what resources do you actually have? Time, money, connections, skills, knowledge. Be realistic. Don't plan based on resources you hope to have, plan based on what you can deploy right now. Fourth, what's your true motivation? Not what sounds good, but what actually drives you at 2 a.m. when no one's watching. What are you willing to sacrifice for? This isn't a one-time exercise. Successful people constantly update their self-assessment as they grow and change. The moment you have this clear picture of yourself, something magical happens. You stop trying to be someone you're not. You stop wasting energy on battles you can't win. You start playing to your actual advantages. Now comes the second part of Sun Tzu's formula: know your enemy. In modern terms, this means understanding your competition, your market, your obstacles, and the forces working against you. But most people get this completely wrong. They either ignore their competition entirely, or they become obsessed with copying what their competitors are doing. Sun Tzu's approach is different. You study your enemies not to copy them, but to find their weaknesses and your opportunities. Analyze their strengths. What are they genuinely good at? Where do they have advantages you can't match? This tells you where not to compete directly. Identify their weaknesses. What are they missing? What do they do poorly? Where are they vulnerable? This shows you where to attack. Understand their strategy. What are they trying to accomplish? How are they trying to win? This reveals how to position yourself differently. Study their resources. What advantages do they have? What limitations are they working within? This shows you how to leverage your different situation. The goal isn't to become them, it's to become the alternative. To position yourself where your strengths matter most and their advantages matter least. Let me show you how this works in practice. Take Sarah, who wanted to start a fitness coaching business. Traditional thinking would tell her to study successful fitness influencers and copy their approach. But Sarah applied Sun Tzu's principle instead. Self-analysis. She realized her strength wasn't in having the perfect body, it was in her background as a former accountant who understood the psychology of busy professionals. Competitive analysis. She saw that most fitness coaches targeted people who already loved working out. The market was saturated with perfect bodies selling to fitness enthusiasts. Strategic positioning. Instead of competing in the crowded, fitness inspiration space, she positioned herself as the anti-fitness coach for people who hated traditional gyms. Result? While other coaches fought for scraps in an oversaturated market, Sarah built a six-figure business helping busy professionals who were intimidated by typical fitness culture. The key was knowing herself well enough to recognize her unique advantage, and knowing her market well enough to find the underserved opportunity. This same principle works whether you're job hunting, building a business, or even choosing relationships. Position your authentic strengths against real market needs. Now let me warn you about the 3 fatal mistakes that destroy most people's success. Mistake number 1, self-deception. Believing you're good at things you're not, or ignoring weaknesses that consistently sabotage you. Reality doesn't care about your ego. Mistake number 2, competitor obsession. Spending so much time watching your competition that you lose focus on your own game. Sun Tzu said, "Know your enemy, not become your enemy." Mistake number 3, analysis paralysis. Studying everything endlessly but never taking action. Knowledge without execution is just entertainment. The strategic mind gathers information quickly, makes decisions based on the best available data, and adjusts course as new information emerges. Perfect information doesn't exist. Perfect timing doesn't exist. But strategic positioning based on honest self-assessment and competitive awareness? That creates unfair advantages that compound over time. Remember, you don't need to be the best at everything. You just need to be strategically positioned where your strengths create the most value and your weaknesses matter the least. Here's your mission: before you go to sleep tonight, complete Sun Tzu's assessment. Write down your top 3 genuine strengths, your top 3 real weaknesses, and your top 3 strategic opportunities based on what you've discovered about your competition or market. Then ask yourself, how can I position myself where my strengths matter most and my weaknesses matter least? This isn't just an exercise, this is the foundation of every major success you'll achieve. Sun Tzu's wisdom has guided leaders for 2,500 years. Now it's your turn to apply it. If this opened your eyes to the power of strategic thinking, smash that like button and subscribe for daily ancient wisdom that transforms modern success.